Hey YouTube, today we're at the Wonders of Wildlife Aquarium. As you know, our entire vacation surrounds animals, but not only is this an aquarium, but it has a static display showing history all through America, and the first part is all Native American. And this is something I really enjoy, and you can look how well they've done the displays in the background. And come with me, dear, I want to show you something. Now, Grandpa, we got a whole display here too of some arrowheads. One thing you guys don't know about Grandpa is he's also the president of our local National Historic Society in my little hometown of Oswego. Was built on an Indian trading post. So do you have any of these that you've gotten to work with?
We have an assortment very similar to this, but not as many of them. We find them in our area where I live in southeast Kansas on the Neosho River, where the Indians camped out on their way to the western part of the state. I think that this is the finest exhibit that I've ever seen.
It is amazing in here, and it's really neat for me because, you know, growing up in a town that was really started based on pioneers trading with Native Americans on the river, a lot of this hits home, and a lot of this culture is important to us. And so going through and seeing some other really neat things. Something else I want to show you here. Come with me, guys. I mean, and they have like actual artifacts. And there's two things in here though that I really want to make sure and let you guys see. Both of them that for me were just amazing to see. I gotta be careful, I can't outrun my camera, I know. But the first one is right over here. And what we have here is this is actually Geronimo's bow. So, you know, in Geronimo, he fought against relocation. He just kind of said no. He said, I'm not doing it. Not me. A bunch of folks that follow him and said, not us either. You're not going to move us off our land. So he was just one of the original badasses, right? Let's be honest. So here you have not only a display talking about him, but his actual bow that he used to stand against governmental tyranny. And you know, you're probably thinking, man, you work for the government, you're talking about tyranny, and I absolutely am, because that's what it was. It was tyranny to remove these people and say, you're leaving your home and you have to do it because we ordered it. So I have a lot of respect for that gentleman right there to say no and fight against it. And it's pretty cool to see the weapons he used. One more thing in this room we gotta cover because it's just so neat. So come with me one more time. And that is right here. And you're thinking, okay, man, it's a buffalo. And it is a buffalo, or a bison, you know, whichever one you want to go with. We always say buffalo, the actual name is bison. But this isn't just any bison. This is actually the first one that was hunted in Native America over 100 years. And one thing people don't understand is I'm not a big hunter myself. I have a lot of family that hunts. I fished all the time as a kid, and they really are about conservation. Hunters are not wanting to wipe species off the earth because then they wouldn't have anything to hunt and appreciate. So the gentleman that started this and owns Bass Pro was instrumental in reintroducing herds to the wild. And the herds have grown to a point that they have to hunt the alpha males or the beta males to keep the herds healthy. So this wouldn't exist at all if it wasn't for the conservation of Bass Pro. And that's pretty awesome. You know, I think that's really neat. So we now have wild herds in Missouri that roam the plains again. Just
Matt,
cool.
I want to point out, we have a bison's head of a skeleton, and it's amazing the size that these skeletons that we have on display in our museum. This is a great picture.
It is amazing. All right, guys, we're going to keep on moving because we're holding up everybody else. Let's go ahead and see the rest of the museum. All right, guys, we've stepped into an African exhibit, and this blows my mind. This is a place I want to go so bad and see a lot of this wildlife and nature. So, Grandpa, what do you think?
Well, I think that they are one of the biggest mammals on Earth, and yes. I have seen them in circuses where I've ridden on them, but they were about half the size of that thing.
One thing I want to point out in this room too is one of my favorite animals has always been an elephant, but another animal that's near and dear to my heart, and I know it's going to be near and dear to yours, is right back here. We have two large giraffes. And growing up as a kid, my grandmother always loved giraffes.
Yeah, I think we've got 100 giraffes scattered around in our house.
And so every time I go somewhere and I see a giraffe, whether it's a live giraffe or here, or even a giraffe statue, it always makes me think of my grandmother for a few minutes. And one of the biggest influences in my life that I miss every day, and I know I'm not the only one. So.
Right, because my grandchildren got some of her dress.
Right, but I know she's a pretty big influence in your life as well. Since how long were you married to her for?
Been married 65 years.
So 65 years before we unfortunately lost her, but she built this entire family, and it was always a matriarch. So every time I see a giraffe, I always just take a few minutes to remember my grandmother. But let's keep checking out Africa and see what we see. Guys, this would be one of my dream situations. I would love to go to foreign places. And when I say I want to travel and like film in Africa someday or film in Asia someday, I don't want to stay in a nice hotel and all of that. I'd rather stay in something like this with a guide. And to think that this would be roaming outside my tent, well, it would be unnerving to say the least. It would be an amazing experience to be in that nature and spend just a little bit of time connected to that and away from everything else that we have in our daily lives, and be around these animals and these things that we normally couldn't be around.
It makes me think of the Val Kilmer film, The Heart in the Darkness.
Yeah, but you know,
I think I'd be
not
ready
wanting to
for
hunt
a cup
them.
of coffee. Looks
I don't
like
wanna-
they got it brewing.
They do. That's what's attracted them. I wouldn't want to hunt them. When I say I want to go, I just want to go with the camera, a video camera and a still lens camera, and just see and experience. I've got no interest in killing anything. I just want to see and be a part of it. All right, let's keep on moving. Okay, YouTube, so now we're ready to enter into the aquarium portion of this massive facility. And if you just look around, give them a quick shot, dear. All the fish, this is just the entryway. So I'm really excited to go see some sharks, see some different things, see what we can see. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know what all they have in here, but this is rated one of the top aquariums in the United States. All right, YouTube, so now we have kind of moved into the swamp. And if you look around, you'll kind of see it's all stuff like this. Well, that's what I like. They've really done a really good job on naturalistic environments. And now we're in the area of this place that has live animals. You'll see a bald eagle over there, and some beavers down there, some flamingos, all kinds of fish. And if you read the sign up here, we are actually going to go to the alligator pit here in a few. And of course, you know me, if there's alligators, I'm going to film them. So let's go check out some alligators. All right, guys, so I am on a suspension bridge, literally, and it's moving as people walk over some young gators that she can show you. What always amazes me about gators is they start off way smaller than that, and then they turn into something much larger. I mean, that's still young, and then they have a full-size, large adult gator that Question Girl is going to show you right now, right behind her, and it just blows my mind the difference in size. Take a look at that thing. Just, how does something that small turn into something that large? It just blows my mind every time I see it. And that is one of the greatest predators in all of the United States, right there. And look at the baby gators. It's so cute when there's babies. Like I talked about earlier, if you hear them making their noise, that means mama's gonna be coming. Now these aren't babies actually, I say babies, but these are, you know, these have got a little age to them. They're still young, obviously, but that one, the bigger one's probably over a year old, I'd guess, minimum. These other ones are, you know, they got several months in them at least, if not a year. When you have hatchling gators, they're really tiny. So here, these all got some good size to them. They're no longer hatchlings. They'd be fending for themselves now. But boy, they're cute when they're that size. Every now and then, I come to an animal exhibit and I'm just shocked. What about you? Are you shocked at what you find in an animal exhibit?
The animals were great, but this is fantastic. I never saw so many ugly fish in my life.
But would you even call it shocking?
Well, yes, it's shocking. You can't believe this. You can't imagine it. You gotta come see it.
It's so shocking. We found an electric eel. Yeah, I know. I need to not quit my day job. Again, we keep finding things that aren't fish, which really excites me. Like right here's the green anaconda. And as you know, a green anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world. Reticulated pythons actually get longer, but because of the thickness of the body, the green anaconda blows it away in size. Well, I'm not a fish guy. That doesn't mean I can't appreciate interesting fish and some of the abilities they have. Like, let's look at this tank for instance. Right when you look at it, you know, your eye's probably drawn right here and how beautiful that is. What impresses me is this red and white guy here. He's not moving. And if you had a full background there, he would just look like a piece of coral. And that's how he's going to sit there and hunt. I can't tell you what kind of fish it is, but wow, just the way it's going to camouflage in there is amazing. And then you've also got this guy here who's actually starting to move a little bit for us. And he looks like, you know, he even has little hairs coming off of him. He just looks like part of the natural plant. So they hide so well. The camo that they built is awesome. And that thing can sit in there and blend in for as long as it needs to do what it needs to do to hide from predators or to also, you know, find its own food. And even though I'm not a per se fish guy, that doesn't mean I don't appreciate what they're able to do in nature, especially those really wild and exotic things like these two right here.